Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast, episode 23. I'm here and Ian is here, although he doesn't seem like he's awake enough.
Yeah,
just had a massive yawn.
I'm awake.
Okay.
Vaguely.
So this week we're going to be talking about the Bricklink Designer Program, the round 2, which is in progress but nearing completion, kind of, in some places.
Yeah, is it?
Well, so in this round there was the Modular Lego store, the Retro Bowling Alley, the Venetian houses, which was subbed in for the Wild West Studios that was taken out, the Mountain Windmill, the Clockwork Aquarium, Seasons in Time, Calendar, Science Adventures, and the Ruined House and Quest Builder. That was more than I was expecting.
Yes.
You heard that. I was almost about to stop. And I was like, oh, there's another one. So that, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And only 5 get through, so 4 will be disappointed.
Yeah.
So it started yesterday at about 9 o'clock CET.
Yeah. So 8 o'clock for us.
8 o'clock for us. We completely missed it.
We did.
You came in at about 10:30 and went, oh, we didn't do the designer program.
Yes.
And I was like, oh no, is it all gone? And it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
It was. So last night I was watching TV and I was with my friend. Then I saw that Frick Scene was live. That's unusual. So I went over, loaded it up. And, you know, as you do, scrolled up through chat to see kind of who was there. Saw someone asking, have you got anything from the Bricklink Designer Program? I went, oh crap, we've probably missed it.
Yeah.
So I ran off to that. So I completely left the stream without saying anything. But, you know, I was there for like at least 10 seconds.
So it was a useful stream.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brixie. Yes. So last time you were there ready, and it was an earlier start last time.
Yes.
It was like 4 o'clock or something. Just as I was getting home from the school run. And you were like, I can't talk, I've got to buy. And the castle went, and it was all a bit of a palaver.
That's it. We got the castle in like the first 3 minutes of it starting, kind of thing.
But there was a lot of people who didn't get the castle.
Half an hour in, I think it sold out. Maybe globally, maybe just in the UK. Can't remember.
Oh yes, because they have regional limits, don't they? Which I always forget.
So half an hour for it to hit 5,000. Now, actually, in that half hour, it hit 10,000.
Yes, but that was accidental.
Yes. So I don't know if that's just because things were coming in so fast that it completely messed up. But
so this round, it is 10,000.
Yeah.
Like they haven't extended it. It started off as 10,000, but it was still 3,000 to get funded.
Yes.
So at the point where you realised that it was happening, 2 were funded, is that right?
No, only the Lego Modular store.
Only the Lego
funded.
Modular store had been funded at 10:30ish last night.
Yeah, the Windmill was just under. So, we had a little chat. We worked out which ones we wanted.
Yeah.
When we put the order through and went back and looked, the Windmill was then funded.
Oh, we funded the Windmill. Go us. It was all us.
We were in that last batch that funded it. So then
the Venetian houses were funded next.
Yes. And then the bowling alley.
And then the last
So last night I checked, I think it was a little bit after midnight or something. And, I think the Lego Modular store had passed about halfway. The Windmill and the Venetian house were just overfunded, and the Retro Bowling Alley was as well, I think, at that point. But they can't have been more than, say, 3,500. I mean, you don't get the exact number from the website. You just get a little graph. So you can't tell. But, yeah, it looked like not a lot had moved. And then you had the Clockwork Aquarium
and the Seasons in Time were sort of neck and neck, weren't they?
Yeah, so I'd say they were probably at about the 1,500 mark, so about halfway to being funded. And then the Quest Builder had hardly moved, the Ruined House was really low, and the Science Adventures was also low. So now looking at it, so it's been live for 13 hours. And you've got the Lego Modular...
Probably more than 13 hours.
Is it?
Well, because it was 8 o'clock our time.
True.
And it's 1,300 hours now, so...
Yeah, that's true.
So it's been... 30.
So why is it...
17 hours.
Is it not running for a whole number of days?
Oh, because you were looking at the countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It says that there's 34 days left, 11 hours.
Yeah. So I just gone, therefore it must have started 13 hours ago. But yeah, the maths doesn't make sense, does it?
No. That is strange.
Okay.
Moving on. So it's been going for like 17 hours.
Yep. And the Lego Modular store is approaching the maximum.
Yeah, I would imagine if you were after the Lego Modular store and you've only just heard this, you're going to have missed out.
Oh.
So sorry.
But the others still only going up very slowly.
Yeah, there's loads of room in the other three.
The Retro Bowling Alley has jumped up into second place, and I wonder if that's because, because of the time zones. Since I went to bed, more Americans will have seen it and gone on to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of an American build.
Well, bowling seems to be a bigger thing there, isn't it? They have all the bowling clubs. You don't really hear about that here in the UK. We have bowling alleys. You go and do it every now and then. Some people take it a bit more seriously.
I think also the bowling alleys here are a lot less obviously bowling alleys.
Yeah. They're just in amongst something else.
Yeah.
It is a nice build, but for us it was way too long and not enough height, so it's just wasting space in our city. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it just didn't justify the footprint.
Yeah. And we didn't buy the Lego Modular store, despite the fact that that's the most popular, because... Why didn't we buy it in? Because I want it.
So again, I don't think it justifies the footprint.
Yeah, you think it needs to be taller, or there needs to be something above it.
It needs to have something else with it. Whether that was something above it or reduce it in width and have something next to it. If you think about the modulars that you buy, they're never... I mean, that's essentially one big room.
Yeah.
And then like a little storeroom at the back, isn't it?
Yes, which opens out quite nicely.
Which, even if you consider things like... Probably the closest you've got to that is the fire station.
Yeah, because it's
that's because it houses a fire engine in the middle of it. So
and the town hall's quite high, isn't it?
Yep, that's got 3 floors. It's got,
But like that first floor is quite
Yeah.
high, and they've done that by the like raising up the stairs, haven't they? So you come in on like the second level and go down. So there's some bits that are higher,
Yeah.
and some bits that are lower. So you have one big room, but not all of them.
Yeah.
I think it does look like a Lego store though. It's really impressive. Like the pick a brick wall and the sides, and like I can imagine going to that and if I was a little minifigure and it'd be in the Lego store.
Yeah.
But I would think it would be a little bit weird as a Lego minifigure to go to a Lego store. What is that essentially saying? Oh, let's go to this place where I can buy bits of my flesh.
Yeah.
It's really kind of weird, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Probably best not to think about it. I really love the
To be fair,
cogs.
that's no weirder than the gingerbread house.
Yeah, it's made of your own flesh as well. Yeah, it's true. I think it's really nice though, but I think you're right. The scale isn't quite right for like all the other modulars. There's too much focus on the one thing, and that's just not how modulars work. Yeah. The thing I'm worried about is that I would really like to see a Lego store in a modular, and I worry that because they've done this, they pushed it through to Bricklink, that there won't be a modular Lego store.
Yeah, but they do quite a lot of Lego stores.
Yeah, you get like the promotional ones and the smaller sets, and you could turn those into modular.
Yes.
But someone's already done this for me, so I don't have to.
Right. But I wouldn't take that set and turn it into a 32 by 32 base plate Lego store.
You'd add it into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe use it as a floor. And you'd probably use the techniques from this set
to
do the insides and stuff.
I like it. But I agreed with you when you talked it through and said, no, it's not worth it for this.
Yeah.
A lot of people disagree.
Yes. That's fine.
We always knew we were going to get the mountain windmill.
Yes.
That one we like. And we can see a way to sort of put that on top of a mountain somewhere in our city. Although our mountains are going to be snowy, this isn't.
Well, I think it's more going to go in the park area. I'm wondering if I can somehow get the castle from the first round of this.
Yeah.
The 3-in-1 castle and the windmill and merge them in together.
Into the park area?
Yeah.
We haven't got space in there.
That'll be fine.
I've got plans for that, for like all the
train
glamping
will go
and
through
things.
that little gap at the bottom of the windmill.
Yeah, that would be really
fine.
cool actually, having the train go through there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's a nice set, and we knew we were going to get that. The Venetian houses we didn't really talk about because it was a last minute sub. I think I always knew I liked that, but where are we putting that in our city? And we didn't really know, did we?
So again, this is difficult because that's 2 32 by 32 base plates.
Yeah.
So it's a big build.
It's pretty though.
It is pretty. You've got the nice kind of Venetian canal bridge. You've got the buildings, I think, is it an art museum in one of them?
Oh, is it? I didn't even look inside.
So,
That's a bonus if there's stuff inside. I just assumed it would be empty.
Yeah.
I don't know why I assumed that. I think we backed this one purely because we thought we did like it. We weren't sure where it was going to go, and we'd rather get it and then make the decision later than miss out now. So that one we're leaving the decision for later carrying it in, which is always a fun thing to do. Are you bothered by any of the 4 that didn't get built? Quest Builder, no. Science Adventures, too small. Seasons in Time Calendar, where would we put that?
Yeah, I have no interest in that one.
I think it's a cool idea, but yeah, I don't think so. I think the Ruined House was a surprise that didn't get as much.
Because
that was right at the bottom.
The Ruined House, it's got some really interesting techniques. It looks so different to everything else, but you can't justify the price.
No, yeah, how expensive? That's too.
They've removed the prices now that they've not been funded.
That's annoying.
230.
Yeah, it was one of the more expensive ones. I also think
it was
too,
the most expensive.
Too big for a house.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare that to any of the other kind of houses that you would get in the City line or the Friends line,
it's massive.
Or even the Creator line, yeah.
I would like to go to a Lego convention, and if you want to hear about Lego conventions, listen to last week's podcast, and see that and go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Great part usage, really great techniques, and then move on to the next table. I don't want that in my city.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's a ruined house. It's because it's not a pretty house to start with. I don't know. I don't find it a particularly attractive house. Okay. I think if you take a nice house and ruin it, I'd be more likely to want it. I don't know.
Okay.
I think I said to you that I see houses in this country as not clad, so mainly just brick.
Yeah.
And so having it, the cladding being the ruined part, okay, yes, half the building is missing from one side. But the cladding, that's the bit that puts me off the most, I think. If you took that cladding layer off, I'd like that so much more.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you could buy it and take the cladding off. It's all done with tiles stuck on the front, isn't it?
So would there be lots of snot bricks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd need to replace all of
those.
So you'd be paying 240 odd quid to then not use half the pieces.
Yeah.
Plus it's moot point now because it's not funded.
Yeah.
But I think the ones that aren't funded will have instructions made available. And we're not sure whether that's to buy or to just download. I think they have to give something to the designer, so it has to be a paid thing.
Does it?
Well, I'm pretty sure I read it was.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're essentially saying, join our Bricklink program, and if you don't get through, we're just going to steal your IP.
Yeah, I suppose.
So that doesn't seem
at that
fair.
point, you then can't give it to someone else. So as we've seen, previous ones were removed because they had sold it.
They had already sold it, yeah.
So the designers were making money off it.
So I think it's definitely paid instructions.
Okay.
And I don't think that we've had any clarity on how much that is. But it's an option later on. And I think even the ones that, after the 10,000 of each set, then you can also pay to get the instructions of those.
Right.
I think it's just...
Which makes sense.
They're only doing, like, the actual fully bundled bricks and everything for the 10,000 copies.
Okay, so then I guess the question is, why is this one so much slower?
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons is because people could only buy one of each set.
Yeah.
So before you could buy up to 5.
Yes.
So that would definitely make it go faster.
You say that, but so the castle is the only one that they gave us kind of statistics on. They didn't give us all the statistics.
No.
They told us how many people had got, what percentage of people had got 1 set, what percentage had got 2, what percentage had got 5. And they went, look, it's only a small percentage of people who got 5, so therefore it wasn't scalping. So you didn't know exactly the breakdown between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But so some quick maths worked out that roughly 7,500 people managed to get at least 1 castle.
Out of 10,000 sets.
Out of 10,000 sets.
That's not many.
So that means 2,500 people completely missed out. So if they'd have had you could only buy 1 castle, then 10,000 people would have got them.
Yeah.
Only 7,500 did, so 2,500 people couldn't get the set.
When you said 7,500, I heard 750, and that really confused me.
Okay.
Moving on. My terrible maths. Yes, so 2.5 people.
2.5 people.
2,500 people. Is that right? Could have got a set
Yes.
under the new rules.
Yes.
That didn't.
But we also don't know how many of those people who got 5 sets, or how many of those accounts that got 5 sets, belong to different people.
So what? One person just bought.
One person has, 10 accounts. They buy 50 sets.
Yeah.
And so we have
you don't know so it's accounts as opposed to people.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, you just have to not think about that because it's better that way.
Yeah.
There should be a better way for Lego to stop that happening, but I just tell myself, don't think about it. It's better.
But yeah, so 7,500 people got the castle.
In seconds.
Yeah.
Or in half an hour.
In half hour.
Why did it take 2.5 hours? Oh, why did it take so long for them to be funded?
4 hours into this one, and none of them had reached that level.
Do you think that it was the knock-on effect from last time being so bad that everyone went, well, I'm done with this programme, and didn't try?
That's possible.
Do you think
they're more expensive this time? I've heard people comment that they were surprised how cheap they were last time, and then people are going, oh, they're a bit expensive this time.
Yeah, this time they definitely seem pricier.
So I don't know if it was that in the first round they picked the ones that were further along in the development cycle, and those were the simpler ones, and therefore they end up being the cheaper ones.
Yeah, so how many were there in the first round? Was there only 2, 4, 6, 7?
Yes, there were meant to be 8. One was pulled out.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, they had several sort of come out, didn't they? Yeah. So none of these models in the first round are over 2,000 pieces. And so therefore the prices are all below £140.
Yeah.
So they are a lot lower. That's probably what it is. People could afford them.
Yep, that could be it.
That seems simple.
But so the castle in the forest...
Yeah, it was 4 p.m.
...is £133, which is the same as the windmill.
And the windmill was how many pieces?
I don't know.
The windmill's 2,085, so it is comparable. It's just over 2,000 and just under 2,000.
Yeah.
So
there's no obvious thing in price. As you say, maybe it was that the cheaper ones go earlier, and the castle just kind of justified the price.
Yeah. They do seem like okay prices last time, and I think it's because they were all quite high this time that everyone's like, oh, it's overpriced. As opposed to looking at the differences between this time and last time. Oh, they're bigger sets. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot also people saying that you don't know 100% what you're actually going to get because these are not the final images. Whereas you are saying these are pretty much the final images.
Yes.
I think there's a lack of clarity.
There is. I mean, if you go into it, it says that these are the ones that are ready for production. They are going to go into production. They are not going to go through a final design phase. But the thing is, I think the images that are shown may not necessarily be the latest image is the thing. Right.
So they may have done some behind the scenes rework, but they're not showing us that.
Yes. Particularly if you're looking through and there's multiple images.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I think probably the main one is going to be the completely finished model, what they've come up with.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones might be slightly different variations on it from earlier reworks. So there may be some minor changes. But I don't think it said that on the Lego website.
No. And I think this is the thing. If people don't know for sure that the picture they see is what they're going to get, then they're less likely to spend that amount of money on it.
Yes.
It says here that the Lego building instructions won't be paper instructions. Even for the sets that are built, you'll still get PDF instructions.
Yeah. I mean, the other factor is, are people a bit kind of disillusioned because of how long it takes?
Yeah, maybe. So
I mean,
it says
the first round has happened. We've not got them yet.
No, it says the sets will be manufactured beginning in September 2021 for round 1. And then on the bottom of the round 2 stuff, it says we estimate the product will ship in Q3 2022.
Yes.
So it's not that long away. It's essentially a year, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's quite a long time from buying something to getting it.
Yes, but you're not paying for it, are you?
No.
And this is going to completely screw Lego over. Because if you think about the number of times that we have ordered, like, Pick-a-Brick and Bricks and Pieces, and they can't process that.
Oh yeah, they will have to reprocess all of the payments in at least the UK, if not worldwide. It depends on different banking rules around the world.
Why have they done this? I guess Well, I guess
It's how everything. It's they refer to this as a Kickstarter project, and that's how Kickstarter works.
Yeah.
You pledge, they check that your account exists,
No,
but then they don't take the money till the end.
that's not true. Actual Kickstarter, where I've backed games, they take the money at the point where it's been funded.
Yes.
When they take that and then they give the funds to the people because they need the funds to buy stuff. So it is different there.
Yeah.
So,
but you don't pay for it immediately. It's only if it gets funded. So I suppose, yes, in this case, they're not even taking it when it gets funded. They're taking it when they're ready to ship.
So there's a very big difference between Kickstarter and this. So Kickstarter, you can back something, and until the point where that project has ended, you can still withdraw your support. Whereas here, I'm assuming you can only withdraw your support when it gets to before it gets to 3,000, or you can't withdraw your support at all.
Well, as we said, you've not paid, so you can withdraw it at any point by cancelling that card.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing.
Oh, how many people are going to do that?
Well, how many people are going to miss out on the set because they don't realise that they have to pay for it at the end?
So they won't be able to...
If they miss that email saying, oh, you've not paid for this, or your card's been declined and we need to put it through, or their card has expired and they've got a new card, or they've skipped the country and got a false identity because they're running away from the police. I mean, all these things are going to cause sets to have been made, but to have no one to go to. So
what's going to happen to those sets?
I don't know. Will they go on sale? Will there be some extra way of doing it? It's
an interesting dilemma. Because also, we've not paid for an order before, but Lego have already shipped it. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. We've had some bricks and pieces. And so what's to say that, I guess they stop your account on those ones. We then did pay, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So are they going to be smart enough to make sure people pay before they send them, or are they going to send them and end up giving all these sets to people that haven't paid for them?
But I mean, also, how many people are going to have moved house?
Yeah. A year is a long time.
It is.
And I started off by saying it wasn't. It's not that long, but it is that long.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've thought of all these things.
Of course they
said
have.
with somewhat sarcastic tone. Yeah. It's going to be fun. But ultimately, we should get these lovely 3 sets. The castle, the windmill, and the Venetian houses. Yeah. And we'll proudly display them in our city somewhere. That's the plan, isn't it?
Yeah. I also, some very minor point, I found the phrasing of when they'll be available odd.
Why?
Because they've said Q3 2022. How many companies, when talking to customers, talk about quarters in that way?
Well, I guess...
That's a very internal company way of talking about stuff.
We're used to it because that's what we have experienced the whole time we've been working.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That isn't is it not obvious what that means?
No.
No, Q3 2020. Yeah. Well, they have put Q3. The later one sort of said September 2021, which is past, actually. They've already started manufacturing round ones, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
So those should be... but this is the thing. The round 1, I think, if you got it on the initial launch...
Oh, they changed the dates.
Then you would get it hopefully in January. If you got it in the second set, where they upped it from 5,000 to 10,000, then you'll get it June or July.
Right.
This is what I'm saying.
You say January?
Yes.
Well, that's exciting. Okay, round 3. They haven't got a date for that, but you can still see the sets. Which of these do we want? So we've got the Space Troopers. Nope.
No.
The 1950s Diner. I actually really like that. But it's, again, short.
So
it's kind of like an outbuilding kind of thing.
My only concern with that set is I don't like the car. The car's wide and blocky.
Yeah,
it's not as good
ugly.
as the one that comes with the diner or the gift with purchase that they had at the beginning of this year. But it's also quite large compared to the building.
Yeah.
So a significant amount of the price will end up going on the car.
And you don't want the car.
So if you don't want the car, is it going to make it too expensive?
But could you sell on the car?
Possibly.
Oh, the train station.
I do like the train station.
That is nice. Where are we going to put that, though? We do need a train station.
We do.
So that could work.
Yeah.
It's very ornate.
So again, my problem with this one is that you're paying for a train that we don't want. We would just want the station, not the train.
Again, we could sell the train.
Yeah, maybe.
Working waterfall, that's pretty cool.
It looks cool, but no, I don't think so.
It looks cool, but I'm just no.
But just
Yeah.
you know, yes, it's interesting rock work.
Oh, I don't really like the. Oh, hello. That was me spinning it around. Apparently.
Yeah.
There's a whole load of stuff inside, kind of like the mountain Minecraft set that we've got, which we really need to work out where to put. Okay, so no to that one. Oh, these are look at Exploratorium. That looks like a Ninjago City docks, but steampunk stuff.
Yeah.
Where would you put that? Because it wouldn't fit in our Ninjago area.
No, I think you could maybe fit it in there.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Like the retro part of town. I like it. I like busy sets with lots of bits to look at. And then the Winter Chalet, that's pretty epic too. I like that too.
Yeah.
I'd want that. But again, it wouldn't fit in our Winter Village anymore. The modular construction site, no.
No, not bothered by that.
And the Mountain View Observatory.
I
think
that
like
one.
that one.
Yeah.
But where's that going to go? That's quite short.
Maybe.
I think you're not using all your real space. And then the Brickwest Studios that should have been in round 2.
Yes.
Which I like, but we don't really have room for a Wild West area.
We don't.
And yes, okay, it's the studios, so you could put it in a studio part. But I don't think we've allocated any space for that either.
No, we originally had thought of that, but I think the theme park's taken up a lot more space, and so it's eaten all of that.
This is the thing, you start building a city and you go over the top. I mean, I like our theme park, but fairground, as I like to call it. But yeah, it does take up a large amount of the city.
Yeah, so we haven't talked about that being pulled out, and whether that was a sensible decision.
I think it was the right thing to do, surely.
Why?
Because for some people, Lego like to make sure that they're not upsetting people. And so some people may have been upset by the reminder of this. There's some similarities to the fact that there's a film where someone got shot. So they're just being mindful of that. And they're not getting rid of it. They're just moving it. The thing that bothers me about the fact that they moved it is that they didn't move Bricky Brick's other project forward. So now he has 2 projects in one round. Yeah. And that seems a little unfair.
They're competing against each other.
So you shouldn't have to compete against yourself.
No.
But then I guess if they didn't do it in rounds, then he would have been. If they said, we'll fund the first 15.
Yes. Because originally they weren't talking about doing rounds. That was only merged somewhat into it when they realised that trying to do all of them wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing we don't know is how many of these ones will end up getting pulled out. Because they're all in the testing phase.
Yes, test building, digital modelling, test building. What's digital modelling mean?
I think that's before the test building.
Production ready, because obviously that was ready at the Brickwest Studios, so we'll know that one's there for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, because the Anatomini was that pulled out of the first round and ended up, they said, we might do it in a later round, and then got dropped entirely because of the playtesting of it.
Right.
Because that's one thing that worries me a little bit about the train station.
Yes.
How
flimsy it
is, because it looks quite a delicate roof structure.
Yeah.
So it could easily be that it is solid enough and I just can't see that from the pictures, or it might be that they completely change how it works. Yeah. Which case we'll have to look over it still looks good.
Are they doing a 2022 invitational, do you think?
I doubt it.
You think they've gone, this has been more hassle
considering that this invitational won't be finished until, the middle of next year, just from the rounds point of view.
Yeah.
The third round is not going to happen until...
But they do that with Lego Ideas all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you get through in one year, but you're not told whether you've won until the year after, kind of thing. There's always that delay. So you're putting your money on no.
It seems silly. I mean, they might announce the sets that will go into the 2023 invitational.
Oh, so you think they'll do them every other year? So you don't think they're done with the Bricklink Designer Program?
It's hard to say.
So you're very negative. I would like to see more, because a lot of the builds that make it through to Lego Ideas that are modulars, I love, and they never get picked. So I would like to see some more of those come out. But it is an expensive way to do this, and I worry that I'll want them all, and it's just an extra thing. So maybe it's better if it goes by the wayside.
I mean, there's then the whole question of what the impact is to Lego Ideas.
Yeah.
Because is Lego Ideas then just funneling non-IP projects into the Bricklink Designer Program?
Yeah.
In which case, why would they get picked by Lego Ideas?
But you still get some benefit from being in the Bricklink Designer Program, surely.
Yes.
So, are you saying...
But it means that the builds aren't going to be as good as if Lego had taken that idea and then improved upon it.
Yeah.
There is the possibility... So they said that for this, there wouldn't be any IP projects in there.
Yeah.
But there could be in future. But that seems difficult.
Well, because who's going to sort out all the IP stuff?
Yeah.
Surely someone has to do that.
You have to have someone who's constantly checking the designs against the IP company to see whether they're happy with it. So that's a very difficult thing if your designer doesn't work for Lego.
Yeah. Right. So if you are interested in the Bricklink Designer Program Round 2 and you want something other than the Modular store, which we reckon will be sold out by the time this airs, head over and look. You've got 34 days-ish to back them.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments which one you like the best. Don't forget to subscribe wherever it is you're listening. If you want to listen to previous episodes, then there's a YouTube playlist, which I'll link up if you're on YouTube now. And we'll be back next week with more interesting podcast stuff.
If we think of a topic in time.
We always think of a topic in time. We're just that good. Bye!
Bye.